name is Tashiana Jackson, and I was married for exactly 1 year and 1 month. My maiden name was Phillips. Um, I'm just going off of the questions that I had already asked the wives that I interviewed, so I thought it was fair enough that I answer these same questions. 2009, I was at the beginning of my senior year in high school, and there was this little party, back to school party at this club called Peabody's that's no longer open. And I was just having a good time and dancing. Felt someone come up behind me and grab my waist, and I looked back and it was him, and I was like, oh my god, whatever. So I danced with him or whatever, and I kind of like pushed him up off me while I was done. And he put out his phone for me to put my number in. And at first I was like, is he serious? But I did it anyways. And then from there, kind of happened, and we were together, and we broke up 6 months into the relationship. And then over course of time, I moved on, he moved on. And then marriage was something that I had always wanted. I always wanted the white picket fence and the children, and the house and Pepper Pike, and the Great Dane, and all that other good stuff. So yes, marriage is something that I always wanted. Wasn't something that I just automatically wanted. It took time because I grew up having a single mother. So um, I thought that's what I was going to be until I started learning the reality of life, that not everyone is a single mother or things like that. What were some challenges? The past was a challenge for us. It was relatively hard for us to get over some things that we both had done um, on our own, and it was more of a challenge for him than it was for me. I kind of got over things because I just wanted to move forward, and for us to start our lives together and be great and start a family, and do all those wonderful things as husband and wife. I wanted to be one with my husband. Nothing more, nothing less. Just, do I solely believe in submission to my husband? Um, I wasn't taught that at first. I didn't really understand the whole concept. I really didn't know much about it until time went on, and I started going to church. And do I believe in it now? Absolutely. And, I can't wait to get married again, and submit to my husband, whoever that may be, the proper way. How were issues resolved? We kind of came to a point where we would argue or fight about it, and then we would just agree to disagree. If one person was wrong, we would apologize, and attempt to not make those same mistakes, so that it can lead into those same arguments and difficulties in our relationships. Were there times that I wanted to give up? Absolutely. What stopped you? In the beginning, I did want to give up because very, very fresh into our marriage, I found about infidelity. When I say fresh, we didn't even make it to a whole month before a girl sent me a message and screenshots of her and my husband sexting, and all those other things. And he was sending her pictures the night before we got married, and denying me as his wife. And I had ready to get an annulment at that time because we were still fresh. And I saw this interview with Magic Johnson, and the interviewer asked him, when you found out you had HIV, did you tell Cookie, and how did that go? And he was like, I was terrified. And he was like, I told her, and she was like, let's pray. And then I started thinking, like, well, damn, she can forgive this man, and he pretty much just put her whole life at risk. Whole life. And, my husband made this one mistake. Granted, I mean, at the end of the day, who knows what they may have done, and still, at the end, you're still putting yourself at risk. But it was like, okay, I can still fight, I can still save this. And we agreed to fix our marriage, and we were okay during that time. So the verse with Matthew 18:21-22. Then Peter came to him and asked, Lord, how often should I forgive someone who sins against me? 7 times? No, not 7 times. Jesus replied, but 70 times 7. Do I agree? Yeah, now I do. At first, I mean, prior to me coming into my walk with Christ, it was kind of like, oh, you do something to me, I'm going to get you back, or I'm going to hold this grudge, and, all these other things. But over time, I just started thinking, like, well, I want someone to forgive me if I done them wrong and I still cared about them, and I wanted second chances, so why can't I forgive someone? You forgive, but you never forget. And that's one thing. And I think that's the hard part. When we're battling the flesh, is that, we don't forget, and sometimes people take that and they run with it, and then it comes into unforgiveness. So it's just kind of like you never really forgave because you're like, oh, I don't, use that excuse, oh, you forgive, but you don't forget. You don't forget, but you don't harp on it. You can't move forward if you're still investing your energy into the situation. It's just not healthy for you or for the other person or for anyone. Who was the head of the household? He was. He was. That's one thing, Not, I don't want to say out loud, but or went along with, but it was just he was the head of the household, and I was okay with that. That was my husband. Have I ever felt alone in my marriage? Yeah, when I was fighting for it by myself, I was pretty much alone. He started coming home late, lying about his whereabouts, and just being real secretive and not really caring, and just throwing in the towel. And it was very lonely to have to do that. And granted, I moved out while we were still married, so I was even more alone because I didn't want to move, you know. But it was like a little choice that I really have. It was over. So yeah. What makes your marriage different from every other marriage? What I felt made my marriage different. It was, we had so many. We were engaged for a little bit, for about a couple of years, and we had all these wedding dates set, and we never followed through with them either because of me being in college or finances or him going to school or just work, or just it just didn't work out, or we might have had an issue, or had broken up at that time. So it was just kind of like, I don't want to marry you. But we ended up getting married, downtown at City Hall, and after that we came home and ate Chinese food. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Every anniversary we're going to have Chinese food. And it was the fact that we had already been through so much and overcame it, that it was like, okay, when we're strong, I feel like our relationship is different and our marriage is different because we're allowed to design it how we want and live how we want and be happy. And a lot of people liked us together. We were an attractive couple, but that's where the whole thing where all glitters and gold, or is, we were cute on the outside, but we didn't have a solid foundation. Looks is only going to get you so far, and I had to learn that the hard way. What do you battle most in your marriage and within yourself? I battle the most with blaming myself when I shouldn't have. Um, you know, just what I could have done different, or why didn't I do this, or let me try this, and I blame myself for the whole thing, and it wasn't. my fault, and everyone was like, it comes a point where you have to accept the fact that you did everything that you could have for your marriage, and you have to walk away knowing that you tried. And I couldn't accept that at first, and I was like, no, that's not good enough. I need to do more. I need to change. I need to do this, and that was a strong battle. Is the whole change, wanting to change for this person who really don't care. They're done with you. It's over. Why bother? What's the point? But um, it took time, and it's sometimes still a battle because you get in those moments where you might miss your ex or whatever, and I did, and sometimes do, not wanting to be back with him, but just you think about certain things, and you're like, I wonder how he's doing it, and if you allow it, the enemy will play tricks and be like, well, you might, you should have did this, or you still could have been together if you had done that, and it's not my fault, you know. It's just not. Question: do you believe you were married in the eyes of God or eyes of man? I know we were married in the eyes of man. As much as I wanted to be married in the eyes of God, and I thought that was meant to be, at one point during the whole divorce process, my pastor had offered to counsel us. And he agreed, my ex-husband agreed to it. And when he asked if we had counseling, I said no, we got married at the courthouse. And he was like, you were, because of that, you were married in the eyes of man. You wasn't married in the eyes of God. And I didn't understand it until after the fact. It made so much sense that if our relationship was built on the foundation of being Christ-centered, it would have been in the eyes of God. But because we, took control of everything and, just thought we knew it all and wanted to get married, it was in the eyes of man, like I said, everyone thought we was an attractive couple in the eyes of man. Men saw us as a beautiful couple, but did God see us as a beautiful couple? I don't think so. Next question: do you believe in divorce? Excuse me. No, I don't, but for intents and purposes, I had to put my beliefs aside, unfortunately, and get divorced. Even though he wanted the divorce, I filed for divorce. Reason being is because he wasn't working with me. He was working against me. So it's just like, okay, well, I can't roll into the next year still being Mrs. Phillips if Mr. Phillips doesn't even want to be with me or love me or anything for that matter. So I had to get divorced, and I didn't want that. It's tough. It's hard. It felt like a death because I became one with that person, and he didn't become one with me. So a part of me died, and you feel like a failure sometimes. I felt like a failure. I was embarrassed. Malachi 2:16, for I hate divorce, says the Lord, the God of Israel. To divorce your wife is to overwhelm her with cruelty. Do you agree? I look at the specific words, to overwhelm her with cruelty. How I looked at it, you just fuel it with anger, and that's what I was, just angry, and there was levels to it, and I don't think he understood it. And I always used to tell him, like, there's levels to this, you don't get it, like, I'm mad, like, I'm angry, and I went through that angry stage. I was furious, just hurt, and how could you just sit here and watch me cry and you didn't care, and you would just pick up your phone and look at it, or you just get up and walk away? I didn't understand it. It was hard. just a person not caring, that you were fighting for them and that you love them unconditionally, and they didn't care about that because, once again, we had those um, selfish traits and being self-righteous, and all he cared about was his happiness. I'm not happy with Tashiana. This isn't what I want for myself. Not even giving Tashiana a chance. He didn't give us a chance. And that's the hurtful part. Is that I felt like I wasn't given a fair chance to be my full potential as a wife. I wasn't given that shot, and I hated it. I hated him sometimes. To find out things later on as time went by about him and Becky with the good hair. Yeah. It was hurtful to see him out with her, and he would come and lie to me and say, "Oh, that's just my friend, we're just friends." And I was naive by choice because I didn't want to believe it. I mean, I see posts with them and statuses, and I'm just like, no, he's saying they're not together. I mean, but when as time goes on, it was like, that's the reason he left. You hear that saying, the grass isn't green on the other side. He didn't water his own grass. He went off. He chased it, and he got deep into it, and I didn't know who he was. Everything he was doing, he had never done that, expressed that much love and gratitude, and I was just like, but I'm the one that's fighting for you, and I'm the one that wants to be with you, and you're out in Vegas with another woman, and I'm at home sick, depressed, anxiety just through the roof because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was sick. The dog was sick. Just overwhelming. Very overwhelming. And I just I couldn't believe it. And to be honest, to this day, it's still hard to believe sometimes that I had married that person, that I was in love with that person, and the whole time I didn't know who that was. And I thought I did. But people show you their true colors. Even when we try to paint a different picture, those are their true colors. And even when we don't want to accept it, the Holy Spirit will reveal things, sometimes to hurt your feelings, to get your attention, to let you know that, look, this is not where I called you to be at. This isn't the relationship. Why are you investing this time? You need to invest this time into me, grow a relationship with me, so I can restore you. And I couldn't understand it. I was like, Lord, I'm doing this right, and this is what you want for me to fight for my marriage, to save it, and the Bible says you doesn't like divorce, so this is what I'm trying to do. And the whole time he's just like, no, what is wrong with you? No. And I was like, no, you don't understand. And I had to get my feelings hurt. And it was for the best. But I didn't get that until now. If you were not married to your husband, what do you think your life would be like? If I had not married Mr. Phillips, I feel like I would have been married to someone. I always wanted that, and I can't necessarily say if I would have been as happy, or who knows, but if I would not have got married, none of this would be created. Wife, you know, um, just all of this, and wanting to start a ministry, and my walk with Christ, and how, the people I've met in the relationships that have stemmed from New Life is wonderful. And, granted, no one wants to get married to get divorced, and it's unfortunate. In the same sense, not unfortunate that I had to go through that situation just to walk into that church, just for my faith to grow like it did, and for me it just touched other people, and pray, and discernment, and just so many things that goes with your walk, and being baptized, and all those wonderful things. You start understanding that no relationship is better than, is greater than, or is worth more than your relationship with the Lord. And who knows, I probably be still just walking in the flesh, and if I had not, I don't know, I can't say where I would be, but except that I wouldn't have started this. And I'm grateful for it. It hurts sometimes because it's a woman with those instincts of wanting, longing for, just that feeling of belonging, and wanting someone, and someone wanting you, and knowing that you can have 0 cents to your name, no doubt, nothing, and you still be content just being with that one person. And that's the beauty of it. And I'm so grateful that this situation didn't turn my heart sour to where I didn't want to love again, or I didn't want to be married, because I still do. Because now that I understand the word of God and the sanctity of marriage, I want it the right way, and it's hard to explain, but it's a cliche, time heals all wounds. That's the reality of it. And like I said, if I had not got married to that person, none of this would exist.